All right, so what did we learn in the last session? Let me tell you about. So we completed, I would say, agenda in notice so far, or rather, I would say the sorry, contents of the notice. Look, as far as section 101 is concerned, which is talking about the invitation notice, two topics are very important for your exam. First is the content part. As you can see, it looks like just a day, time, and place, but when we go inside, like there is a lot of clusters of the question. Second, very important is the length of the notice. In fact, content versus length of notice. Length is the topic where many questions are asked. Who is entitled and modes to send notice so far is just for the reading purpose. If you want to, it's fine. I don't think so that some good questions can be there. These two are more challenging and repeatedly asked topics in exam. Fine. So now let's go about the length of the. No, they don't ask. It is just for the reading, I would say. Now, length of the notice. In length of the notice, two questions are very important. Okay, let's go about this. So let me place here. Okay, so this is about length of notice. Technically, here we have 2 points to cover up. The first one is the normal length, and second question, what they may ask, it is about the short length notice. Short length. And both provisions are very interesting to know, length versus short length notice. Now before I move on, the basic question comes that what do you mean by the length? So general perception what comes in mind is like length means something where we have to count on words or we have to count on pages. Is it trying to ask like how many pages one single notice of the company should contain? Is it like that? You see, nobody can tell the company how many pages they're supposed to be or how many words there should be. It is company's own discretion how many matters they want to include. Law and the government should not interfere in that right. And therefore, it is not about a number of words or it's not about the pages, but it is talking about the length of time, length of days. Okay, you just answer me one question. Suppose I want to conduct a meeting. Let's say after 3 days I'm conducting the meeting and today I'm sending the invitations to all my shareholders who are located at the different segments of this country. Do you really think that it is viable and fair? After 3 days, just imagine like this that you are getting married after 3 days and you are sending invitations today. How would people be able to decide that whether they should go or not? They may have a lot of, I would say, busy schedules. So proper length of the time must have to be provided that honor before certain number of days. You should have to give the notice. So it is all about the length of the time. So what are the minimum days before which you should have dispatched the notice that we are here to learn? Am I clear? Okay, so let's talk about the normal length. So when we speak about the normal length, law has provided that sorry, notice of the general meeting shall be dispatched before clear 21 days. I have observed and I have seen that many students do understand that so it is 21 days. If you're writing 21 days, your answer will be wrong. Actually, the language is not 21 days. It is clear 21 days. So here the question comes, what is the interpretation of the word clear 21 days? 21 days versus clear 21 days. So try to understand when we discuss about clear 21 days. It means that while calculating these 21 days, certain numbers of the days will be excluded. Those numbers will not be part of this 21 days. So answer would be following days shall be excluded, shall be excluded, shall be excluded. So what are the days needs to be excluded? So let me tell you, Vacha, the first day what you need to exclude is the day of meeting itself. The day of meeting itself, right? So day of general meeting will not be counted in this 21 days. So 21 days should be something what is apart from this. Alright, day of general meeting. Second point what law is trying to say is day of dispatching the notice. Day of dispatching the notice shall be excluded. Now what does it mean? Okay, so fundamentally it is just like a sandwich. Look how the sandwich looks like. In the sandwich generally we have the first layer of bread, right? After having the bread, in between we have some masala and then another layer of bread. Assume it is not club sandwich because club sandwich contains the multiple layers of bread, right? This is assume masala. Now the point is, if I say what gives the real taste, bread if you eat alone doesn't give much taste, but what if you eat masala? That's what increases and enhances the taste in sandwich. So guys, this sandwich masala is clear 21 days. So don't consider the first layer of bread, second layer of bread. 21 days is something in between this. Are you getting my point? So, date of general meeting shall be excluded, date of dispatching shall be excluded, and clear number of days should be something in between days. So, this is nothing but I can say clear 21 days. This is nothing but clear 21 days. Sorry. This is the date of general meeting, and this is, I would say, date of dispatch. Am I clear? Now, what kinds of questions we can expect in exam? They will give you one date of general meeting. So straightforward, they may ask you that honor before which date, the date, I would say the notices of the general meeting must have been dispatched. ये एक आपको question आ सकती है. Second, they will provide that this is the date of general meeting and this is the date of notice. By referring to the provisions of section 101, explain whether date of notice is valid or not valid. So ऐसे questions बन सकते हैं. So you should be good in calculation of the dates. You can make वो तो पता होगा ना difference between the two dates, how to calculate. So I do not want to demonstrate here in the classroom. However, what if your question says that a company has decided to go by post? In fact, you come to this question. You come to this question. Before I go to that part, now this is important कि हम इस question को हम सबसे पहले देख लें. It is modes to dispatch the notices. So, for example, I do ask a question that can company decide to dispatch the notices by email? What is your answer? Should I assume that company decides that I want to dispatch the notices by email? So what do you think, like whether email is the official mode to dispatch the notices or not? What about the WhatsApp? What about Facebook post? ठीक है. So what law says? Okay, what about hand-to-hand delivery? No post, no courier, nothing like hand-to-hand. Company officers will go to all the shareholders and hand-to-hand they will deliver. Allowed or not allowed? I have just 10 shareholders sitting just in my next society. As being director, I have the 10 let's go and we'll hand it over. That's all. Possible. Depends upon the circumstances. So let me tell you, as far as the modes to send the general meeting notice is concerned, law says that notices may be sent personally, that means hand to hand is allowed if you want. So personally you can definitely go if you want to. Second, students, you can use the post as the media. Post contains these three kinds of post: ordinary post, speed post, and registered post. So you can use any of the ways. Third, what is allowed is courier is also now. You can use private courier, Blue Dart, or anything what you want. Okay? But still, most of the companies want to go with the post because post is the most reliable, I would say, the mechanism and the mode to dispatch the things. And they have said any electronic mean. That means, guys, you can use email as the authentic source to dispatch the notices. तो आज आप इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन से भी भेज सकते हो, व्हाट्सएप से भी भेज सकते हो, बट while you read the secretarial standard 2, now maybe you're asking you, now what is the secretarial standard 2? So I assume that as being the chartered accountancy students, we have to learn about the auditing standards and the accounting standards. Same way, all those who are the company secretary course professionals, ICSI have launched secretarial standards. If you are in company secretary in a company, what is your role? You have to just look after the compliances. But how do you come to know that all the compliances are complied or not? So they have issued certain guidance notes. And those guidance notes are nothing but known as what? Secretarial standards. In fact, do you know, just like the statutory audit, just like the tax audit, there is one more audit is also there known as secretarial audit, which has to be done by only company secretary. Chartered accountants cannot do this. समझ रहे हो? And over there, they will not see the financials, they will see the compliances. Whatever rules are provided in the Companies Act to comply that particular action, whether company has complied that according to that or not. And as a guidance, they have issued a lot of secretarial standards as far as the chapter of administration and management is concerned. They have SS2. SS2 stands for Secretarial Standard 2. तो वहां पे उन्होंने ये चीज दी हुई है. So they have clarified over here electronic means what? What if I want to go with the WhatsApp, Facebook? They are also electronic means. So they have said that you can use any mechanism which leaves the traces. Traces means you can later on trace it out whether the communication was sent or not. To tell you by tracing the IP address, can you just check it up to that whether emails is properly sent or not sent? In fact, in the WhatsApp, if you see, guys, we have the blue ticks and all those stuff. However, the blue ticks are not controllable. If you just hide it, it's very difficult to know that whether it is reached or not. Yes or no? So, if you ask me WhatsApp, Facebook, the answer is clueless. If you have the mechanism to trace whether the dispatched notice is received by the shareholder or not, if you have that mechanism, I would say you can go with the Facebook and WhatsApp also. Law explicitly doesn't prohibit it. It says that you can use any mechanism where you can keep what? The traces. Traces means the proof that yes, notices are sent and received by the person. Got the point? Okay, in the mode one more question comes. One more question comes. What if, okay, question goes like this. चलो हम उसके बारे में बात कर लेते हैं. Assume Mr. S, who is the shareholder of the company, shareholder of company, shareholder of company wants the notice of general meeting in a special mode by Blue Dart courier. Actually, company is sending by post. You're talking Blue Dart versus post. Which one is less expensive? Obviously, post. But some people who believes in luxury, they say, no, 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 Indian person, array, I don't rely upon that. Yeah. I want blue dot. So my point is, this demand to ask for the special mode to deliver the notice is valid or not valid in the eyes of law. Alright. So if this question comes to your exam that or company is going for post for all others and you have the special demand, your demand is valid or not valid? Answer to that question is it is valid. It is valid. So now the person can demand a specific mode to get the notice delivered, but whatever expenses are coming, he has to pay in advance to the company. Let's say company says no problem sir, but deposit 1000 rupees first or 500 rupees first for the courier charges. So you have to do this. It is not free of cost. It is not. Otherwise you can demand I want by helicopter. Company का ठीक है पहले helicopter का पैसा दे दे भाई. So yes, my dear students, specific mode is also available. Again, guys, it is just for sake of your knowledge because I don't think so that exam में यहाँ से question आनी चाहिए अभी तक तो नहीं पूछी है. But yes, you should have the knowledge that what are the modes available. Okay? So now let me come back to the topic of length of notice. Yeah, so I was here, right? Length of notice. So far we have understood that while counting this 21 days, day of general meeting will not be included, day of dispatching the notice is not included, and furthermore it is said that if the notices are getting dispatched through post, then more 48 hours will not be considered. More 48 hours won't be considered. But understand this 48 hours condition will be applicable only if you are going by what? Post. But if you have decided to go for any other mode, then I'm sorry, this 48 hours condition will not apply. Clear? So ultimately guys, how many days? So one day is the general meeting, other day is I would say the dispatch and two more. So total 4 days will be excluded. So I'm trying to say that your 21 days should be other than this 4 days. So overall how many days are there? 25. 25. Including the date of general meeting, the total number of days for the notice preparation is how much? 25. Notice dispatch is how much? How many? 25. So can I say that before general meeting, at least 24 days before, you should have dispatched the notice. At least how many days? 24. Now please don't ask me the question like this in between these 21 days. What if for some days are holidays, public holidays, national holidays? Why everything is counted here? All those holidays will not be excluded in this 21 days. Am I clear to all of you? Am I clear to all of you? So please don't forget to go for the length of the notice and total we have this 4 days on or before which we should have to. So before 24 days of the scheduled general meeting, you have to dispatch the notice. You have to dispatch the notice. Am I clear to all of you? Okay, one more question. Sometimes it comes like assume that you have not received the notice. Notice shall be now another question comes to whom the notice is supposed to be given, right? So notice shall be given to following people, right down. So another question comes like who is entitled to receive the notice of general meeting? Who is entitled to receive the notice of general meeting? All right. So following persons, following persons are entitled. So point number one, all members at the address registered with company. Second is all the directors, auditor, auditor, and all the debenture trustees. For example, definitely while applying to the company's share capital, you have to give your address where all the communication. So whatever address you have given to the company, only that address company is bound. For example, after giving the address, you have changed the address. Right now in JP Nagar, now in Kormangala. How would company know? So you cannot complain like this that I am in Kormangala, I didn't receive the notice. It is your fault. If your address is changed, it is your duty to communicate to company. If you forgot, company is not in default. So law has said that duty of the company is just to deliver to registered address. That means the address what you registered with the company, address what you have given to the company. Make sense? ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे एक और बढ़िया सा क्वेश्चन आता है, and the question what I would like to discuss, that is the section 146. क्यों? You try to understand. Basically, we have these four people who has right to get the notice of general meeting here. These four people who has right to get what? The notice of general meeting. Auditor काफी खास है. Recently, I was screening the RTP. RTP, I think all of you understand. It is revision test paper. Somewhere I found this question that is it compulsory for the auditor to attend the meeting? It's not about the invitation. It is about attendance. So guys, the next question is it compulsory for the auditor to attend the general meeting? That's the question now. So, what do you think about this? Is it compulsory according to you? If it is AGM, then it's compulsory. No, I'm talking about every general meeting. What is called up by the company? Okay, guys. So let's understand now the provisions of section 146. And 146 talks about right on auditor's duty to attend जनरल मीटिंग. ओके, नाउ समटाइम्स आपको ये लगता है कि ऐसे भी क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं क्या? भाई बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. इनफैक्ट if you just see this Acts Companies Act 2013, actually I wanted to discuss this point under the auditor chapter, but fine. Later or sooner we have to understand this is the point where auditor chapter and general meeting chapter are intersecting, right? So come to here at the 146 क्या लिखा है? Auditor to attend general meeting लिखा है, पारस annual general meeting नहीं लिखा है. So it is about all the general meetings, not about only annual general meeting. समझ में आई? ये पढ़ा है? ठीक है. So what do you think, like, is it compulsory for the auditor to go there? In the morning बीवी ने बोला अजी सुनते हो क्या, आज मेरे साथ रहो ना पूरा दिन, और आपने जाना कैंसिल कर दिया. इनविटेशन था, आपने कहा ठीक है डार्लिंग नहीं जाते आज. किसी मेंबर ने ऑब्जेक्शन उठा लिया. It is compulsory for the auditor to come to the general meeting. He didn't come, so it's a violation. So is it violation or not? That's what the point is. And this kind of rubbish argument, I don't think so. You can give to the member, sorry, my wife told, that's why I didn't come. Okay, guys. So let's understand कि कानून क्या कहता है, what the law talks on this. So basically, we have point number one. We have point number one. Law ये कहता है, guys, that it is compulsory. Write down, guys. It is compulsory for the auditor to attend all the general meetings. No option, guys. Because what if members want to ask some, I would say, substantial question? Some substantial question what can be answered by only the auditor of the financial statement? And what if he himself is absent from the meeting? Because certain technical points only chartered accountant can explain. Yes or no? Okay, guys. Now another point comes, what if he is not in the capacity to attend general meeting? Okay. So write down, in case if auditor is not able to attend general meeting, then what to do now? Explanation, sorry, my wife told today's marriage anniversary, don't go. Sorry sir, that's why I couldn't come. अब ये explanation थोड़ी काम में आएगा भाई. So guys, law ने ये कहा कि in case if auditor is not able to attend general meeting, he will arrange his representative, his his representative to attend the general meeting. Now आप कहेंगे क्या बात है सर, कितना इजी हो गया अभी तो. If I cannot go, I will send my representative. Assume that Pratyush is working as article under me. उसको बोलेगा एक काम करना है, तू जाके आना, चाय पानी सैंडविच खा के आना यार, खत्म करो बात को. My question is, can I send my articles and my employees as my representative? ये काफी important मुद्दा है, समझो. Seniority. So my senior article will go. Let's say who is almost about to complete 2.5 years of my articleship. और मान लो my employee who is doing CA finance since last 10 years. अभी तक बेचारा क्लियर नहीं हो पाया, लेकिन मेरी फर्म में वर्क कर रहा है, उसको भेज दो. लॉ इज वेरी सीरियस बच्चा. उन्होंने क्या कहा? He will arrange his representative to attend what? General meeting. Who will have the same qualification like auditor. Who will have the same qualification? Same qualification means, okay, let me modify my word actually. Who will also be able to, who will not have the same, let me modify my words. एक सेकंड रुको, ये मत लिखना, मैं आपको लॉफुल बता रहा हूँ, ये मत लिखना. Who will also be eligible to be appointed as the auditor in company. Who should also be eligible or qualified. So what I'm trying to say, guys, he should have the same qualifications just like me to get appointed as the auditor. So guys, you tell me one thing, in company, what is the qualification of the auditor? Chartered accountant is not the qualification. Chartered accountant in practice is the qualification. So guys, the representative to whom I want to pass this right and the duty also, he should be practicing chartered accountant. Not only to that, he should not have attracted any disqualification from the company. Then I can send him. So guys, article, employees, ये सब बात है. In fact, I cannot send my brother. In fact, I cannot send my wife. I can send only the case when they also possess same qualification, same competency, same eligibility to get appointed as the auditor in the same company. Otherwise, not. Is CA in practice and qualified. Qualification means what? He is not attracted by any disqualifications. Right? Section 141, when we read, we are going to learn that what are the qualifications, disqualifications of the auditor. So over there we are going to learn about this. Am I clear? Now, okay. Let me tell you guys, maybe आपको लगेगा कि सर ये ऐसी बातें थोड़ी है, चलो थोड़ा कानून पढ़ ही लेते हैं यहाँ पे आए तो. Simply when I click on the section 146 and when I come look at क्या लिखा है यहाँ पे? All the notices of and the other communications relating to any general meeting shall also be forwarded to the auditor of the company. The auditor shall, unless otherwise exempted by the company, attend either by himself or through his authorized representative. He shall also be qualified to be an auditor of the company in the general meeting. So one word has come here about the exemption. चलो उसके बारे में थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं. What if but anyhow auditor doesn't want to? Anyhow, he is not in the position to go. So guys, if he doesn't want to go, he has to get the exemption from the company. Okay. So if auditor has obtained what? Exemption from the company. He may not attend. That means, guys, who should give the permission not to attend? Ultimately, if you just look at this, who should give permission not to attend? Answer to that question is ultimately exemption means what? Auditor need to get the consent from the company. That means why we are passing the board resolution, the consent letter of the board that okay, Mr. Chirag, if you do not come, it's fine. We will do it without you. But if this letter is not taken and you didn't go, guys, it is the violation of the section 146. Am I clear? बेटा क्या मेरी बात समझ में आ रही है? And if you are not following this, provisions applicable in section 147 would comply. And 147 is talking about the punishment for contravention of the any of the above provisions. Are you getting my point? So ऐसा मत समझो नहीं गए तो कुछ नहीं होगा भाई. अगर आरओसी को पता चला it was your duty but you didn't go, you are gone. Am I clear to all of you guys? Hello? एक छोटा सा डायग्राम बेटा इसको जल्दी से खत्म कर दो. ठीक है.